to challenge myself with the Polyend play, I decided that I was going to fill every step on the grid and try and make a good sounding pattern. And that might seem easy since you can just literally drag your fingers across this grid and fill it up with sounds, but that would sound god-awful. So I meticulously crafted some very long patterns. That's 512 steps in total if you use the whole sequence. The Polyend play has a lot of features. It has performance effects, it has these great fill options to make it so you can just bake patterns into projects really quickly. It has variations for patterns, which are really powerful, and it has great randomization and repeat functions for making more interesting patterns. I took advantage of all of these features while building out this song. I had to. It was really the only way to get this project done in any sort of timely manner. And it still took me several hours to complete it because I wanted it to sound good. And I do think it ended up sounding pretty good. The Polyend play has a built-in EQ and a compressor, and it does a pretty good job with that. Some of the randomization functions are like space and texturize, which will filter and pan things for you so you can kind of humanize your whole project pretty quickly. And not only does it have all these great fill features and randomization features, it has a different perspective than I'm used to. It has this grid layout like this. And as you can see, I filled every single spot. This isn't normally how it would look for people using the Polyend play. It would be like this. These tracks, they aren't really tracks in the same classic sense that you would expect. They're really just rows. Instead of tracks, think of them as rows. There's no mixer inside here for you to adjust the volume of a track. Any sound you have on here has its own specific parameters, and I'm using all sorts of different sounds on different tracks. This may have my kick drum on it, and this may have my main snare sound on it, but it also has a bunch of other sounds on it that have no relationship to those instruments at all. For instance, some vocal sounds in, and then some melody sounds. Here's the snare track. I don't want to spoil the performance because I spent a long time performing it. The performance effects on here, while they are fantastic, and as you can see there is plenty of them, it is really easy to hit the wrong effect. I mean, it's very easy. And to memorize all of these, I've been able to memorize just a few of them, and I'm kind of reusing them, and they're similar to the sounds that I use in my Octatrack. And as you can see, I did pair this with the Octatrack, so I am using both performance effects. I'm even doing some like live looping on here and using it to transition from part to part. This does a great job of transitioning. There's a lot of great effects, as I said, but some of them are very difficult to use in your production. There's some ones that arpeggiate your entire sequence and they don't stay in key unless you have the scale filtering turned on, which I don't have turned on because I want some of my sounds to go outside of the scale. So some of the effects I find I can't use, but for the most part, they're pretty usable and it's a lot of fun. And not to mention, you have control over all your performance effects. If you highlight the whole row, you can use these parameters as well. Change the sample entirely, which sounds insane. Let's try it with like sample start. Can make it sound really soft. A bunch of reverb. And go back. So very performative. I do think this is a really fun device, and I really do actually enjoy the music that I made on here, which is really great because I want to love every machine that I own. Like, I want to just obsess about them. And after I finish this project, while I am happy to have finished the project, because it's always nice to actually complete something that you set out to do, I am pleased with it. I do feel like I might actually come back and try this same method again because the results were very satisfying. So have a listen and let me know what you think in the comments. name's Matthew. I'll see you next time.